Hi there folks, this is Snowhawk here with your November 2020 update. I suddenly forgot what month it was, as if this year hasn't gone on long enough. So let's talk a little bit about everything. I apologize, this video is very late. I have had a lot going on this month. Also, the good old stressing out about the US elections because that's been a thing. I tried making this video several times, and every time it's been like, nope, ain't happening. So, here we are, finally doing it. First things first, look, get all this over here. Yeah, I've made myself an overlay for this because why the hell not? Oof. I still have some stuff I want to do, some other stuff I want to draw, but drawing is, yeah, we'll get to that. So, life updates. Number one, new webcam. Number two, as you can maybe kind of sort of see lurking back behind me, that is my HP monitor, and it is the dead. Unfortunately. It's 9 years old. I can't complain. So yeah, it was time for it to retire. So instead, I now have an LG ultra-wide as my main monitor, and my secondary is my former main monitor, which was my 24-inch Dell. So I have a lot of screen real estate in front of me now, thankfully. The LG is not like anything special. It is one of the, but it was rated one of the best budget options that I could find. And I kept seeing it pop up while I was searching, so I went ahead and went with that one. And so far, I've been fairly happy. My AMD Fury X is driving it pretty well, along with the other two that I have attached, so no complaints here. Also, the Second Life screenshots are hilarious because they're long. I left my water out in the kitchen. Shit. So, that's pretty much out of the way. That's the big things. Besides, I have storage, and I have been unpacking boxes, so yeah, I haven't been able to take this out for the recycles yet because of, we'll get there. Comic scheduling. Everything is scheduled, not just uploaded, actually scheduled. Webtoon released a comic scheduling for all Canvas creators. I think everybody in Originals has had this, and it's been kind of tested with Canvas creators, and I am so happy that we finally have this feature. Jesus Christ, it's been my one big complaint about Webtoon. It's been that I can't schedule updates. I have everything else scheduled with Postyburb, that it goes up at 2 p.m. every Tuesday, and that's when the comics go up, and then I try to do 9 a.m. with the webcomics, but it was hard to make sure that I was awake. I was here at my computer. Sometimes they would be a few minutes early or a little bit late, depending on like how busy things were. If it was right before 9 a.m. and the small's like, hey, I have to go pee, then I just gonna be like, oh shit, post it and go, you know? But now, it's hands off. Cool. Postyburb, completely scheduled out until the end of the year, is hands off. So this will be November 24th is the next one. That's Tuesday. And then December 1st, 8th, 15th, 22nd, and 29th. Those are the 5 for December. So, those are all ready to go up. Waiting, all they have to do is just be posted. Postyburb has to actually post something. It gave me some trouble last week, so things were a little bit late, but yeah, that's been, that's a weight off of my shoulders. After a tiny human interruption, let's see. So yeah, comics are scheduled out. It's all ready to go. It's all hands off from now. The next thing on my list here, mini hiatus until January of 2021, and January of 2021, due to wrist issues. So, a little bit of backstory. I had a fall about 3 years ago. I messed up my wrist. I hyperextended it. I pushed it way too far back this way because I caught myself with my hand here, and yeah, that was not my best moment. but that's the thing. So, yeah, I hurt my wrist and I irritated it again while I was doing all of these comics. I meet with a new primary tomorrow morning, um, so I'm going to go over some things with them and see if I can figure out a treatment plan. There's not much we can do as far as fixing it, but mostly just relieving the pain and keeping it from being too painful over the next, however long I need to work. But because of that, because I need to let it heal, I am going to take a posting break in January of 2021. This means I'm going to keep working on things, and you might see me streaming, but I have not streamed for the past 2 weeks. I have not drawn for the past 2 weeks. All of this stuff here were pre-made. I had those ready to go because I used it in all of my branding for the Twitter and the Twitter icon, the Webtoon icon, and so on and so forth. Anywhere where you've seen all of this stuff, it's all the same. There's no difference. So that is that. Now, yeah, basically I'm just going to take a break to try and rest my wrist, try and make it feel better as much as it can, so that I will be able to just kind of go ham and get back into posting twice a week as soon as possible. That's the idea. And plus, taking a break in January is not going to be the worst thing in the world, because there's going to be a lot happening at the end of December. There's Christmas, my small human's birthday, and then New Year's, and just dealing with all of that. The next thing is the fun one. Roasting my old writing videos / streams coming. I don't know if I can post this stuff on YouTube. The content itself is typically safe for work, but it's just that there's all the usual themes that are in the writing, in the story. And it's even worse in these earlier versions. The 0.5 version especially is the reason why my copy-paste content warning is what it is. I was rereading it as I was uploading stuff onto Fur Affinity, and I was like, holy shit, why didn't somebody tell me this? Why didn't someone be like, hey, Snow, can you not? But no, everybody was just like, oh, this is great. And whoops. 20-year-old me was a little less tactful with things. Who knew? 19-year-old me, actually. That's when I started this. I was 19. So, that's going to be coming. I have a little seed already set up for it. Let me give you a preview. Suffer with me. That'll be the thing. Alright, and the next one. Q&A time. These questions were asked by Digo in my Discord server, which is, right there. I'll put the link also in my description down below so you can join the Discord. Also, there will be the webcomic one, and my website, my Fur Affinity, and Twitter will be up there as well. Probably should have made the Twitter one my webcomic Twitter, but whatever. They're both linked. Questions. Putting them up here. So, he has 2 questions, and they actually are kind of related, so I'm going to kind of go into both of them at the same time. Do vampires have any specific weaknesses in this world? And the answer is no, with an asterisk. There is one thing that affects vampires, and it also affects Amazon. So, vampires, now that I've taken care of my throat. For now. So, vampires with their specific weaknesses. They only have the one. There is not an official name for this yet, because I haven't named it. I didn't get that far into the lore yet. It will eventually be. It's just not right now. There is a metal that it has like a lot of the same properties as silver, but instead of having this like very bright tone to it, it is black. Jesus Christ. And metallic, so it has this metallic sheen, but it's like deep. It's like if somebody put like 4 or 5 coats of clear onto a black car. You just like look really deep into it, and you could tell. So that's I referred to it originally in the writing as dark silver. I never made an official name for it, and I eventually will when it comes back up. But right now, dark silver. This is what it's called because it has all the same properties as silver, but it just is a different color. And if you cut a vampire or an Amazon with it, when it gets past that outer layer of the skin and down into the lower layers and the muscles, their healing abilities basically get turned off. It's not even that they're half, it's more than half. They're like a 20th of what they were. So it slows them down to healing worse than a non-vampire would or a non-Amazon would. And it causes burning, and if the metal is left in contact with them long enough, or it's a large enough wound, and this will come up soon actually, then it can actually kill them. So this is the thing that the vampire hunters will use once they realize what it is. It's not well known because there aren't a lot of vampires. You're going to see 2 mostly in the story, and 3 technically. Technically 3, maybe a 4th if I decide to change him again. I don't know if I'm going to or not. But yeah, it's going to be a thing that does come up. So I don't want to get too far into it, but yeah, this is what will kill a vampire a lot easier than if you just try and, wear them down, because they have a lot of resilience to things, and they heal very fast. They can also, they're just sturdier, They heal fast, they're more resilient, and what else? I can't remember what the other talking point was. Anyway, my brain is gone off somewhere else. Who knows? So, what's the next? The next question is, are Delphin the only ones who can learn magic? Everything that I'm going to be talking about should be considered to have like an asterisk behind it, because there are individuals that are the exception. But with the exception of those few individuals, yes, Delphin, horned ones only, are the only ones who can learn magic. So this means your unicorns and your alicorns, and if it's like a goat type or something that has like double horns or, multiple horns, they can, but if they the further away they are from just having a single one, the harder it is for them to learn. And this is just because of being able to focus the magic. Some of them actually find that it's easier if they have like, effectively a wand or a ceremonial knife, something of that matter that they could hold and use that to focus their magic, as opposed to trying to use their own horn. Even some of those Delphin that only have one horn will do that. There's a character who will show up at some point. I'm not sure when. If it's not this story, it'll be another story, because I do want to get into her story as well. Probably she's going to get her own story. But Tasita, I want to add a source real quick with just her so I can show you. New source. Oh lordy. Did you load it? Come on. Open. There we go. This is Tassi. Tassi is a character who started off in a New World of Darkness game as a mage, and she's just it was just her, you know. And she has a little rat familiar that I didn't draw in here. I was thought about drawing him like either in the middle between the two or here. But after that particular game ended, I decided I want to keep doing something with this character. So I threw her into my novels world, and she was only a horse type, because back then it wasn't just unicorns. Back then it was all morphs could, like, shapeshift and whatnot. So I've been working out her story, and why she can turn into a human when that's not a thing that exists in her world, and it does involve multi-planet traveling, we shall say. So yeah, but her horn, when I changed when I changed it to only Delphin could do magic, it became, well, why is she a horse? Because she lost her horn. That's why. So, she has her horn broken, and as you can see in the image, the human version of her is holding the horn in its hands. Because the character herself in the World of Darkness game, the new World of Darkness game, had a dagger that was made of bone. And I never went into too much detail about it. So I figured now I could be like, oh, she made this dagger out of her own goddamn horn. Or she's just carrying a piece of her horn around, you know. She's literally carrying a unicorn's horn. Which is a thing that they could do. Tussie is mute, by the way. Which means, she doesn't talk. She can. She could. But she doesn't now. Why not? Probably has something to do with the horn. Like I said, I'm going to really get into her story, into why she's mute, what happened to her, where she's been, and all that stuff, just because she's interesting, she's fascinating, and she's not a character that I've had a chance to play with the past several years. So, I can tell that I'm getting, excited because I'm speaking very, very fast. But yeah, in general, the only ones that can learn magic are horned Delphin, and so your unicorns, your alicorns, are the ones who are the most prolific, the best at learning the magic. There will be some that seem to be duds, and that specific wording comes up later, but it will be gotten into as to why that happens. So, magical ability ain't everything, even if some of them were specifically bred for their magical ability. Joke's on you. So I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to throw these 3 pieces together. I think I have 3 pieces now. And yeah, I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.